We are about to see a hard landing coming for the US economy, and we're going to go through a couple of major key points that you need to know about today, because major news networks now continue to spout the narrative that the economy is good. Of course, they're in the tank for Joe Biden, so they're going to say that, right? Whether they're sharing some harrowing statistics about inflation, credit card debt, layoffs, or immigration, they always seem to put a positive spin on otherwise bad news. Like it's okay that things are 30% more for you to buy at the grocery store. That's okay. You're fine. You're happy. But all you have to do is look at the data. Things are not looking good for the US economy. Even Morgan Stanley's chief US economist, Ellen Zentner, told CNBC that due to several factors, a hard landing recession is likely in the months ahead.
I feel strongly there is nothing being debated on the Fed right now seriously as to whether the next move needs to be up. So I think we can set that concern aside, but it's still about how long do they hold. Now, something that Jamie said, I think rings true in that whatever kind of landing you might be thinking about, right? It's about timing. So we've had a soft landing call since March of 2022, and I rolled that forward into 2023. Guess what? I've rolled that forward into 2024. We will have a hard landing at some point. I guarantee you that. We're all wondering, when does that come? And I just don't see anything, and this is probably the same way the Fed sees it, in the current data, coincident data on the economy, or the forward-looking data that says we should be on recession watch right now. But the point that Diamond makes is that there are these cumulative impacts that build over time. And we are in the camp that we haven't yet seen all of the tightening impacts from monetary policy flow through. And so it should keep you nervous, right? Economists were supposed to worry about what evils lurk around the corner. And so I'm not on recession watch right now, but I do understand the tremendous unknowns that are building in terms of tighter lending conditions, past monetary policy tightening, quantitative tightening, geopolitical events. I mean, they're stacking here.
It seems like the Fed won't be making significant cuts to rates anytime soon. We might see one rate cut, and it might not happen until December. Many Americans are holding on to hope for lower rates before they can proceed with things like buying a home, investing, or upgrading their vehicle. Even the Wall Street Journal just published a story this weekend discussing how frustrated Americans are getting with waiting for interest rates to drop. They're just putting their homes up for sale because they can't wait any longer. It's that bad. Although recent reports indicate that inflation is beginning to ease slightly, the prices of everything from housing to groceries are still skyrocketing. This cooling may have been an anomaly because, for 37 consecutive months, we've witnessed an increase in inflationary pressure. In fact, the latest CPI numbers show that it's much hotter than expected. The White House may try to spin these inflationary numbers to make them seem less severe. But we know better, don't we? American wallets are hurting right now, and things aren't looking up as long as inflation remains higher than the Fed would like. Those interest rates are staying put. They're not budging. And even if we do see lower rates in the second half of 2024, any potential decrease is unlikely to be significant. The days of interest rates below 5% are sadly behind us. Here's another blow. Dozens of major companies across the United States are continuing their streak of layoffs in 2024. Just take a look at this list by Business Insider, detailing the major U.S. companies slashing staff this year. The list includes IBM, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Citi, eBay, BlackRock, and more. Nearly every industry needs to brace for impact because we're facing a massive wave of layoffs. The outplacement firm Challenger, Gray & Christmas reported a total of 84,000 planned cuts in February alone. Their labor and workplace experts stated that as we navigate the start of 2024 in the first and second quarters, we're witnessing a persistent wave of layoffs. To make matters worse, Americans are drowning in credit card debt. Americans' total credit card debt has soared to an unprecedented $1 trillion. Sadly, many of our fellow citizens are currently ensnared in this vicious cycle. High interest rates keep them trapped in a state of perpetual economic hardship. Some of these credit card rates exceed 23%. Imagine that. How could anyone hope to break free from such a burden? Meanwhile, illegal immigrants are pouring into the country in vast numbers. Estimates suggest that over 10 million have entered unlawfully during Biden's tenure, with no signs of it slowing down. If the current trend persists, 2024 could shape up to be the worst year ever for illegal immigration. On his first day as president, Biden swiftly signed numerous executive orders aimed at undoing the border regulations of the Trump era. These orders stripped power from Customs and Border Protection and limited ICE's ability to apprehend and deport illegal immigrants. Consequently, many cities are struggling immensely under the weight of this crisis. Places like Denver, Colorado, and Chicago are forced to accommodate illegal immigrants in makeshift tent cities, diverting resources from essential services like healthcare and municipal infrastructure. If you're buying into the narrative peddled by major news networks that the economy is thriving, think again. Economic analyst and financial writer David Morgan is sounding the alarm of an impending global depression. He warns that we're entering uncharted territory, largely due to China's economic woes. The Biden administration and the world at large may be reluctant to acknowledge it, but China's real estate bubble has burst, prompting a mass exodus of capital into safer havens like gold and silver. The ripple effects of China's economic turmoil are being felt worldwide, including in the United States. We're grappling with persistent inflation, an affordable housing crisis, record levels of illegal immigration, and impending mass layoffs, just to name a few challenges. It's time to prepare for a hard landing. This won't be a gentle descent. This dire situation is exacerbated for those burdened with credit card debt, especially when companies are charging exorbitant interest rates. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.